I can't do that. I don't have enough confidence. I can't talk to her. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I don't have enough confidence. I can't do it. Have you ever had this thought or feeling before in your life? If so, I have good news. Confidence is not given. It's not something you're born with. It's something you can create, and you can do it like that. Now, if you've never done that before, that might seem impossible, but that's what we're here to give you some skills and tips on how to become unstoppably confident. It's something that we really need. And if you're really competent, knowing a lot, but you lack confidence, you are not going to go anywhere in life.
True.
You have to have a full belief in yourself in order to enact and deliver and act on the knowledge that you have. That's why confidence is so important. You are very smart. You are phenomenal. You have a ton of skills and gifts to share with the world. But if you don't have confidence, no one's going to know about it, and you're not going to be able to give that to other people. So that's why this is such an important topic that we're going to talk about today.
Confidence is number one key for your personal success, like not a single doubt.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because if we don't believe we can be successful, if we don't believe we can live the life that we want, how can we do it?
Exactly. And this is coming from two guys who had very low confidence. I'm speaking of myself. I know I had real low confidence.
Me too.
Yeah, I figured. So I was like, maybe I just spoke from too soon. Maybe he's always been a confident Bravo. But for me, I was always very low confidence, especially in school growing up. I was the short, skinny, lanky kid, the nerd. And that's just kind of how I lived life, and I also couldn't communicate. I wasn't very vocal, and now you hear me now, and you're like, oh, "What are you talking about? That's not possible." It's because I won't shut up ever. I'm podcasting. I talk so much, but it's true. And how I got out of that is one of the first tip that's very powerful and simple because you can do it at any time, and that is that confidence is created by emotion, and emotion is created through motion, moving, dance. Torque it, whatever you got to do. But for me, that whole journey started with working out. And that's one reason why it's so important in my life. It gave me confidence, allowed me to deal with stress, and has really become, and it's like a good side effect is it makes you healthy. So there's a lot of benefits to working out. I took it to an extreme with bodybuilding, which I love. I love that lifestyle. I recognize not everyone is about that life, and I don't try to put that on anyone else. However, getting active in some form that you enjoy and can do on a consistent basis will allow you to grow in your confidence. And it doesn't have to be crazy. You don't have to go all bodybuilder like. You can just go on a simple walk. You might say, well, it's too cold outside. Go to the mall. You might say, well, it's too rainy and the roads are too bad. Walk around your house. Well, I don't live in a house. You live in an apartment? Walk around your stairwell. Go up the stairs. Literally just some sort of movement for 10-minute intervals. If you're inactive and you're a sedentary person, start with 10-minute intervals. You can do 10 minutes 2 or 3 times a day in those segments to build up over time. Start small with something realistic, but the key is to get that motion and turn it into a habit, which is one of the other things that can build your confidence, is creating rituals or habits that empower you and help you to feel like you are confident.
So what kind of rituals?
Great question.
Yeah.
So one is walking. I'll just talk about what my daily rituals are. So whenever I wake up, I brush my teeth. As I'm brushing, I think of the things that I'm grateful for. So gratitude is a practice. I then go and I chug a glass of water to rehydrate myself. I've been sleeping 8 hours.
Yeah.
So rehydrate, make my coffee, because coffee loves to say you can do anything. Once you're caffeinated, that's what you'll feel, and it's pretty great. But no coffee, no worky. So that's a really great thing to live by. It's a magical power, black gold. But so coffee is one thing. Then I get in and I read my daily devotion to really focus on my Creator God and connect with Him. And then I empower myself by building competence to help my confidence. So if you're not feeling confident in an area of knowledge or expertise, practicing, learning more about it, that will give you confidence. It's kind of like a relationship that's kind of a back and forth type deal. So let's say, for example, public speaking. You're giving a presentation and you're very nervous and you don't feel confident about it. If you've never practiced it before, I would say, yeah, you probably don't have any confidence. But if you're going to give a presentation in a month and you've practiced it 30 times already to the point where you don't need slides or notes and you can say it because you're so good at it, that's probably going to elevate your level of confidence.
So it all comes back to reps.
Yeah, all about the reps. So see, the motion's where it's at, motion in the ocean. But practicing over and over and developing that skill set. So going back to my daily rituals, after I do daily devotion, my niche is nutrition and helping people to nail their nutrition in a simple and practical way. So I'm reading a textbook on nutrition to really learn the concepts that are evidence and science based so that I can translate that into what's actually practical and applicable to the life of a pharmacist or pharmacy student. So it's still evidence based, but it's taking it high level textbook, but bringing it down to something that's very simple and you can put into action. So that's what I do every single morning. I'm increasing my competence by learning the material, and that's going to help me feel confident in making recommendations, or when a question's asked, I'm like, oh, I know that. I just read that this morning. So that's one way through my ritual that I help to increase my confidence.
Wow. So what if people say that they have all this negative voice their parents give to them? So we're not good enough, or I couldn't do that. So how can we eliminate the negative voice or self-sabotage that's stopping people from being confident?
Evidence. And you can find it anywhere. Seek and you shall find. We all have voices, myself included, that come into our head from time to time. Normally it's if I'm sleep deprived, that's when the voices get louder. I'm not crazy in all these voices, but you know what I'm talking about. So if you have a voice or a feeling or a thought that says, who are you kidding? You can't do that. It's too hard. It takes too long. That'll cost too much. Whatever it may be, think about a time where you were successful in any area. Did you graduate high school? Did you buy a car? Did you get hired for a job? Did you successfully ask someone out on a date and it went well? Are you married? Do you have kids? Anything at all. Start small. You don't have to be this, did I win a Pulitzer Prize? Start small, because that is going to lead you to the yes answer. Did I do this? Yes. Did this happen? Yes. The more confirmation you have is going to give you evidence. So it's not something you're making up. It's something you actually did that happened in your life that will help you to feel confident in pursuing your endeavor. Because if you can literally say, yes, I have done this before, that's going to lead you to think, maybe I can do it again.
This is such a great advice, because now that you talk about it, I remember when I actually applied those things, and then it actually did make me feel a lot better. So right now, when I was not feeling confident, I would think, previously I've done this, or previously I've felt that way. I've felt empowerment, and that has really helped me to really charge forward. And also one thing I learned is that think about what's the best me could do in this type of situation. So
Yes.
Imagine your best self in this situation. What would your best self do, and what would the actions he or she take, and then just tune in with that. So now you see yourself doing it, your best self doing it, then you can able to go into that situation with total confidence.
So that comes down to focus, which is the second piece of advice on building unstoppable confidence. We said in the beginning, seek and you shall find. You have this negative voice or negative self-talk saying you can't do this, you can't do that. Well, if you focus on that, you're going to feel very disempowered and likely not take any action. However, if you look instead at what you did do, what you did succeed at, that's going to focus you on empowerment, because yes, I've done this. Yes, I can do that. Yes, I've done it before, so I can then do it again. That's the second piece. The first piece we looked at was physiology,
Right.
Literally moving around. Now, if you're hunched over and sitting like this, you're not going to feel very confident. However, if you sit up and take a deep breath, you're going to feel and exude confidence. Let's say you're just in a public room, whether it's a seminar or school. You can see when someone's confident without even hearing them speak.
True.
On
Yeah.
how they carry themselves. Their good posture.
Power moves.
Yes, they
Yes,
have
yeah.
they carry themselves with confidence. That's literally a phrase, carry yourself with confidence. If you have someone that's like this, all, closed up, they're not going to exude confidence. You're going to see that. And that's just...
I'll tell you a funny story.
Let's go.
So when I was in middle school, so me and a bunch of my friends are playing basketball during break. It's a lunch break, so some people are sleeping, some people are eating lunch. And so what happens is in our particular school, no one can go play basketball during the lunch break. So no one. So there's literally no one on the field. But we, bunch of 15-year-old teenagers, 12-year-olds, and we decide to go to play. Take our chances, right? So I think it's four of us are playing, and then we see the security walk towards us. But he was a little bit far away, so he couldn't tell who is playing and who is not. And I see one of my friend, because some are like, I was hiding with a bunch of other friends. I just see one guy. He just walked like there's nothing happened. Mm-hmm. He walked like he's done nothing wrong, and then walked to his classroom or whatever. And then so he and the security guard crossed paths, and security guard didn't say a thing because he thought, okay, maybe this guy walks like he's haven't done anything wrong. He's probably not playing. And then the security guard is coming towards to us to come and get us.
Yeah.
So that's just how this is gonna really like how people carry themselves plays such an important part on psychology in general.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So those were the first two. The last one is something that will require practice, and that's called conditioning. How you respond to a set stimulus. So if you get, let's say you always go to the same place for lunch, okay? And when you get there and it's a long line, you instantly feel like it's terrible. Like, this is awful. I have to wait so long. I have blah, blah, blah. That's not going to be a good conditioning. However, if you condition yourself such that, wow, it's a long line. This is a great opportunity. I can check my emails. I can respond to that phone call that I have to do later. So now I'm going to have more time later because this waiting time is going to allow me to do those mundane tasks so that later I have more time free to open that up. I'm going to feel great.
Mindset.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mindset, conditioning. If you have a negative stimulus, you can recondition your response so that instead it's an empowering response, and that will help you to feel confident in that situation. But that takes practice because over time we come into these habits, these automatic responses to things that can be negative or seem negative, perceived as such. But if you instead shift that with, how can this be a positive? What can I get out of this? Then you're going to be unstoppable because think about it. You have a great situation, things are going your way, you're obviously going to feel good. However, if any negative situation, you have conditioned yourself to also feel good, you can't lose. Because whether it's good or bad, you're going to feel amazing.
Yeah.
How are you going to? That's going to explode your confidence. It's all about the mindset and how you can shift that. And that's why we talk about that on the Mindset Podcast.
Yes.
Exactly. So, hope this, guys, has been helpful for you all in becoming unstoppable in your confidence, because once you have that, you can conquer not only your world, but the world. Thank you all for listening. This is Dr. Adam Martin with the Fit Pharmacist Healthcare Podcast with my good friend Alex Liu. Have an awesome, amazing day, and don't forget to master your mindset.
See you on the next episode.
See you guys.